And now your host, Mal Adams.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Japan Journal. I'm your host, Mal Adams, and today is a very special day for me as I celebrate my 75th birthday. I want to start by thanking each and every one of you for your kind birthday wishes and your continued support. And as I reflect on the journey of my life, I want to take you back to the week of my birth, June 10th, 1949, and explore the significant events that shaped the world then and compare them to how far we've come or not in the 75 years since. So let's dive into the history of that time and see what lessons we can learn for our future. Now, my research showed me that on June 6, 1949, just 4 days before I was born, the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee passed an anti-lynching bill. This was a landmark decision providing severe penalties for those involved in lynching, a brutal practice that had terrorized African American communities for decades. The bill aimed to address the system of racism and violence that had plagued the United States, particularly in the South. In my lifetime, 1949. So from 1882 to 1968, approximately 4,743 lynchings were recorded, with the vast majority of victims being African Americans. Despite numerous attempts to pass federal anti-lynching legislation, it had been consistently blocked by Southern senators. Crazy, huh? Well, the 1949 bill proposed fines and imprisonment for those involved in lynching conspiracies and allowed victims' families to seek civil damages. Well, today, while lynching is no longer a common practice, the struggle for racial justice continues, and the Black Lives Matter movement and recent legislative efforts reflect ongoing battles against systemic racism and violence. We've made progress, but the journey is far from over here in the year 2024. You know, in 1949, the United States was experiencing a post war economic boom. The transition from wartime production to a peacetime economy was marked by rising consumer demand and the beginning of suburbanization. President Harry S. Truman was in office, focusing on domestic issues like civil rights and labor relations. His Fair Deal aimed to extend the New Deal policies, addressing social welfare and economic inequality. Culturally, America was buzzing with optimism. The baby boom, and I'm a baby boomer, was underway, and new consumer goods such as automobiles and televisions were becoming household staples. Radio was still dominant, but television was on the rise, signaling the beginning of a new era in entertainment. And now look at us today in 2024. I don't watch TV so much. I stream digitally on the internet, huh? That's what we do. My, how things have changed. But my, how some things, sociological things, and moral things remain the same or worse. But if we fast forward to today, the American economy and society have transformed dramatically. Technology has revolutionized our lives, globalization has reshaped economies, and social media has changed how we communicate. Yet, economic inequality and social justice remain pressing issues that require our continuous attention and action. Globally, in 1949, it was a year of significant geopolitical shifts. The Cold War was intensifying with the Soviet Union testing its first atomic bomb and the formation of NATO in April. Europe was rebuilding for World War II with the help of the Marshall Plan, and the process of decolonization was beginning with countries in Asia and Africa pushing for independence. Today, we live in a world that is both more interconnected and more complex. The Cold War has ended, but New geopolitical tensions have emerged. Decolonization gave rise to many new nations, yet some still struggle with the legacies of colonialism. International cooperation is more critical than ever as we face global challenges such as climate change, pandemics, and economic instability. So, as I reflect on the past 75 years, I'm grateful for the progress we've made, but I'm also mindful of the work that remains. Living in Japan, I'm fortunate to experience a peaceful environment surrounded by love, respect, and admiration. This special place allows me to reflect on our shared history and the ongoing efforts to build a better future. So let us carry forward the lessons of the past with hope and determination for our children and grandchildren. We must strive for a world that values justice, equality, and peace. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through history, and here's to a brighter future for all of us as we grow older together in peace and love. Thanks so much for your birthday wishes. I appreciate you, and I love y'all madly. Brother Mal signing off from Japan. Until next time, stay safe and be well. Peace and love. Good day.